Death Metal Podcast. We're going to have a live interview tonight. This is going to be the blackest death metal interview ever. So, tell your friends. Share the shit. Right, tonight, Death Metal Podcast, Saturday. So it's December, the month of Santa Claus and his so-called religion. So tonight, we're gonna do an interview, and this is part of the next level of Death Metal Podcast fucking interviews, because I wanna touch base with bands, and I want to talk to people because I feel that people like it on here. People that watch the show like it. I like it too. So we're gonna keep it real. And I thought about like, and this happens to me, like through social media posts, through show flyers, through the underground, basically. Like I see faces, and then I seen Ziek here. And I was like, you know what? She is making an impact on black death metal because she's fucking badass, basically. You know what I mean? So, like, she's in multiple bands. Morbosidad, Churchacide, and Wyrmvold. So, like, there's these, there's multiple things going on here. And they're putting out multiple releases with, like, Go Throne Records. They're doing their own shit. They're on all these Texas flyers and shit. So like, I felt like I wanted the death metal podcast community to. I figured this would be something that we would all enjoy together. You know what I mean? So consumerism, it's Satan all day on here. So we got Ziek backstage, and here we go. So how's it going, Ziek?
Hey everybody.
So,
How you
Death
doing,
Metal
Roy?
Podcast invites Ziek. Wanted to do an interview about Zeke's bands and the different things that I saw happening in the last few years. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have been getting busy, doing some stuff. Anything you want to plug right off the bat?
Shit. uh, yeah. I guess the closest thing is that Churchacide live show. We haven't played in a year,
Right.
basically. So we'll be in Dallas, December 28th,
All right.
right
So
after
that's
Christmas. It's Christmas miracle.
you heard it. Here's the flyer for the show. This is the Grim Winter Blot, right? December 28th, with Churchacide. And I can't read any other bands. Anti-Sama. I know that name.
Antisma,
Antisama.
Asylum. Keep forgetting the other band's names of Tongues of Eden. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, what I noticed about like you in general is that you were out on the scene playing all these fucking shows and shit. Like I seen you playing in Forged in Defiance. I seen Churchaside doing things. I see tapes coming out. I see CDs. So like for death metal podcast watchers, like how did you like get into like playing the guitar and your younger kind of death metal fucking whatever you got into, thrash or death or black?
Oh man. Guess when I was a teenager, I just saw Piggy from Voivod and Tom G Warrior. I saw the music videos online. I think it was from Headbangers Ball. They had their videos online with Voivod's Psychic Vacuum video, and
Right,
then of course the Circle of the Tyrants video.
right,
That's
yes,
like, oh, I got to pick up a fucking guitar.
yeah, yeah. And you were pretty young at the time. You were like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, 13, 14 is when it all went downhill. Yeah.
And when you first started to want to play, like like were you did you go right for like the most brutal guitar, or were you like kind of like trying with the regular ass guitars first?
Oh no. I got an acoustic guitar first,
Okay.
and then a electric bass, like one of those Squires. Not a
Okay.
pointy
Yeah,
one
yeah.
at all. Um, I didn't get like my first real electric guitar till way later, like 18, 19.
Right.
Bought that one. Bought a Jackson with a Floyd Rose on it for like $100 off some random guy.
Okay. Cool. And then that was out kind of your fucking gateway to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take this a little more fucking serious. I've been fucking around with this acoustic and
Yeah, I got to start somewhere. I guess the acoustic helps with the fundamentals.
right.
Just there's all that classical guitar out there. Gives
So
you the tech.
beyond those videos too, sorry, like what kind of music were you kind of listening to or playing along with or whatever during those like from those like formative like years?
Formative years. Trying to play Voivod.
Uh-huh.
Um, just uh, but a lot of people just start off with punk because it's easy.
Okay.
Uh, just a couple chords, then you just go from there.
Yeah. So you were more into like DRI or like exploited or something or
Yes, but even before that, it was like older punk stuff like the Misfits and the Sex Pistols and just the old punk stuff.
cool. That's good. We're gonna play. We're gonna play tonight. We're gonna play all of your bands and then some of your live stuff because I felt that this is what made me pay attention to say, what, Zeke doesn't fuck around. Basically, she's playing a lot of shows. You're doing a lot of shit. You know what I mean? It's not unnoticed by someone. You know what I mean? Like I noticed. Like I was like, like she gets busy in the death metal scene And I appreciate like people that do, and that's why I wanted to have you on Death Metal Podcast.
Right on. Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Play whatever
So
you want, man.
yeah, so we're gonna play Wyrmvold. Let the people hear it. right. That's the fire we like on here the most, Zeke. You know, like we want to see, like we like the fucking straight up jam room shit on Death Metal Podcast. I think all the listeners agree. You know, the live stuff, and you know, because you know it's show improved basically. You're not just in the studio.
Yeah, just literally in the guest room of our drummer's house, just jamming.
And then the people you jam with, could you talk about, you know, how you got together? Or that's the last thing we showed was Churchacide, just to get it clear, right?
Yeah, which is basically my first real band. We got together about almost exactly 8 years ago now, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, we were all just, in the scene already. Just really wanted to form a band that was very irreverent, like Profanatica, kind
Okay.
of. Just all like talking about vomiting on priests, raping nuns, shit like that. um, and yeah, it just kind of evolved more from there. We added another live bass player, and that's Keith, who's also in Pius Levis,
Okay.
Carl's band.
Cool.
And we added the second guitar player, Joey, who's also in Wyrmvold and a bunch of other bands, Fluxus Mortis.
Uh huh. Yeah, you seem like you got a
Yeah.
solid unit there. You know what I mean? And then you know, with Wormvold that we played before the rehearsal thing, I detect like a Voivodish logo there too. And you drew the logo?
Oh yeah, that logo's 100% hand drawn by me. I airbrushed it a little bit in Photoshop, but yeah, it's all me. And yeah, away from Voivod's a big influence there because he drew the logo. He came up with the Korgel character and all the lore
Right.
of Voivod. Is just definitely like the archetypal band that also has the artist in it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what I'm saying. Like I noticed, I think that it saw that. I mean, going through things, I saw that you had drawn the logo of the Churchacide, the Wyrmvold, you know, and then you know what I mean. Like you were involved with the art of the drawing the covers of some of your early EPs and stuff. And then
Yeah,
you know, like I mean, you know, like the thing is, obviously, as time goes on, we all evolve, you know. So like but you know, like you seem like you had your own, or you and your friends or the band members had your own this.
yeah, that's our label. So instead of just being straight up independent, we just made up our own label. Just DIY it.
Right. So this was your
Antichrist Iconoclast.
band camp kind of, you know, like, or put it out there, put it on our releases kind of label.
Yeah, yeah, just that's our in-house label. But
Right.
now Churchacide's on Goat Throne, so
Right.
shout out to Aaron.
Yes, we saw
Great
Aaron in
label.
the chat. What's up, Aaron? And everybody that tunes in to Death Metal Podcast. I see a lot of heads in here. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. What's up, Morgan? What's up, Ian? What's up, Kyle P? What's up, Diatom? Uh, what's up? There's Aaron right there. So yeah, you could hear a bit of Piggy in there. So did I. That's what I was gonna say. Like, and the Wormvold stuff, you can hear like a little bit of. I detect two things on most of your bands. Like most of your bands, is I detect the Voivod and I detect sadistic intent execution. Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, Sadistic Execution.
Right.
Great. I got the Australian flag.
I didn't even notice that, but you know
Yeah.
what? I detect the in your fucking music because I'm like, God damn, this band reminds me of a sadistic execution. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely a valid influence there.
Right.
Uh, good
Well,
picking that up.
yeah. What would you you know, like what amongst the different bands? Like obviously you have two different bands. Are you trying to go for two different like slightly two different styles with each band?
That's part of it. Yeah, like the Churchicide's more, bestial and feral, and then Wormvold's more precise, more blast beady. it
Right.
really is because of the difference in drummers.
Yeah, it's a lot
That's
fast.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fast. Fantastic guitar onslaught. What's up, Ryan? Thanks for tuning in. So, Texas in the house, right?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of Texas homies in the chat. Shout out.
I'm Australian, and I was thinking the same thing. And bestial warlust.
Oh yeah, Bestial Warlust. Oh, you had a Damon on here a while ago too, didn't you?
Yeah.
That
Well,
was.
he used to call me all the fucking time.
Oh, he doesn't do that anymore.
Well, no, I mean he like through when I first met him in the '90s, through Metal Maniacs in the Pen Banger section, he hit me up and told me my guitar player is coming to New York. Would you like to meet with him? So like I went and met the guitar player Joe Skullfucker. If you know that one video where he's like
Oh
Skullfucker.
yeah,
So that guy came.
Skullfucker.
He came to New York, and then I showed him around. I took him on the black death metal tour of fucking New York, where we went to a bunch of shows, and I tried to get him to go to like an immolation rehearsal or something that didn't pan out. But then he went to like 2 shows with me, and then he went on a van trip with me with like head rot, and we laughed at him because he fell asleep during the fucking in the middle of the festival because he was so fucked up. And I remember it was like phlegm and all this shit. And then I kind of just brought him back to the fucking New York, and I kind of just dumped him off. And he's like, dude, I can't believe what the fuck just happened, man. I'm like,
Ah, it
welcome
sounds
to
like you
fucking New
showed him a
York.
good time.
Yeah, I was like, welcome to New York, motherfucker.
Yeah, gave him the New York experience.
Yeah. And then after that, myself and Damo, we became very close, or during that period too. We were close, tape traders, So like we would just send music back and forth to each other and letters, and he would write fucking 40-page fucking letters and shit. You know,
Oh yeah.
at that time, the only way you could talk about like a new Morbid Angel record sometimes would be through a letter, basically, which is so fucked up. you know.
Yeah, they're the Aussies are still awesome. I also tape trade with them too. Like
Mm.
newer generations are doing it. It's just more old school. It just feels more authentic. I got two fucking tapes right here from Aussies. I got Volant.
Bring it,
Yeah, pretty.
Volance demo.
Yeah, Volant demo. And then I got this Debaucher
Oh shit.
from
Okay.
Aussies. Yeah,
Isn't
you
that
think they wouldn't be like such great tape traders as are on the other side of the fucking planet, but they've always been great to me.
Yeah,
So
Australia has a
yeah,
fucking sick
hail
ass scene.
Australia.
Yeah, fucking hail Australia, and they're fucking bestial fucking shit. That's the bottom line too, isn't? Wasn't there another band too, Decimation Hammer or something?
Oh, they're from New Zealand.
New
Yeah,
Zealand. Okay.
Decimation Hammer.
My
They were
buddy
at
in the
Fortune
chat.
Defiance.
My buddy in the
And
chat's from New Zealand, right here. So this is no, not maybe not maybe Jeff Chapman. This chap, he's from New Zealand as well. So we get people that tune in from all over the fucking country on Death Metal Podcast. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I don't know, obviously you guys all know. I don't know if Zeke knows, but maybe. I make up all these shows right on the spot. I come with some shit. You know what I mean? And then like I just make the rest of shit up because basically like this is just a conversation to open up for everybody. You know what I mean? And that way we have the chat, we have me and Zeke, and then we play some fucking music. Simple as that. Like I don't want to overthink it. You know what I mean? It's like you see a lot of trash on YouTube and edits and stuff, and like I don't think I need to do all that shit. So I just want it to fucking be raw, like a raw fucking demo, basically.
hell
So
yeah.
I do have another question. On the recordings, like on the Wyrmvold, you just recording some of that stuff yourself?
Oh, the actual recording, yes. We kind of had to do that. Well, it was more like I hired a session drummer,
Okay.
and that was a whole ordeal. it did not go the way I wanted at all. That guy fucking sucked. I'm not gonna say who he is, but
Right.
you, he's kind of well known, and it was kind of surprising how much he fucked that up
Mm.
as a session drummer, because that was supposed to be an album,
Right.
that Wyrmvold EP, but there's entire songs that he just didn't do, and this was his fucking job, right? So it was very weird how like people just couldn't get their shit together.
Mm.
That was during the pandemic times, so
Oh shit. Okay.
you think people when they're hired to just do something with the recording, they'll just do it, but now a lot of people just became super fucking incompetent once 2020 hit. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, just salvage what I could from that
Okay.
fucking dickhead, and then just recorded with my home studio because
Right.
it's the easiest way to do it, and then we just mix and master that and put that out.
Yeah. I mean, the production sounded really fucking tight, actually. So you did use the fucking asshole drummer?
Yeah, I mean, I already paid for it, so it's like, fuck it, let's just
Just
move
try to
forward.
salvage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Salvage what you
you
could
have
out of
to
it.
keep moving forward.
Right. Maybe they just didn't understand like the place that you were going, like in the long game.
I don't know. I think that guy is just fucking retarded.
Or you
Sorry.
have a future plan? Do you have future plans for like a drummer that could match the energy of what you want to do?
Oh, yes, we are now gonna be playing with Sam, who's the guy that we work with in Morbosidad,
Okay.
Samuel Axelrod. So we're gonna do some live shows, and he's gonna be the drummer sometime next year. I don't know when, but
All right.
it's happening.
That's cool. So something's in the works that you heard only here, right, on Death Metal Podcast.
That's right.
So that's why we do this show, basically. Like I want to spread information, and basically, it's cool to hear it right on the spot from the people doing it. Samuel Axel Rose.
I'm gonna tell him that. He's gonna think it's funny.
He's good.
Axelrod is his last name.
What's up, Danilo M from Texas? Texas is heavy in the place tonight, man. Sweet Wyrmvold show. Yeah, so there's what do you call it? Let's go to we're gonna try to cover like on and off here because you traveled around, so like we're gonna go down like a little lane right here. This is Morbosidad live in Brazil.
Rehearsal diabólicos, la brama está supremacendo. Empezaré a aplastarte en oración a ver. Muestra tu aplastosa presencia, no me apiade de ti. Olor de sangre, empieza a servir de ti. Comenzó sangriento, cristiano, odio, tienes el diablo por mi lado. Nunca podrás vivir malvado. Sangriento, sacrificio. Cristiano, obrigado.
All right, we're gonna remove that for the next song, but I'll leave it there too because that did sound fucking hot. So basically, you play also in say the name for me. Morbosidad.
Morbosidad.
Morbosidad, which I want to talk real quick to the death metal podcast watchers, which I showed you real quick when we were offline. Early in the days of me tape trading, I wrote to this guy. His name was Thomas Stench. So I used to write back and forth with people in LA and Cali and stuff, like Enrique from Sadistic Intent. He did a small record label. You know, Richard C. from Wild Rags, Demolition, Entity, like all the old, you know, Sadistic Intent, all the old Cali Black Death bands. So years ago, I bought this demo, or I tape traded this demo, and I got this tape right here, which is the Morbosidad Demo Rehearsal 1993. Now, I what do you call it? For some reason, I saw that on Metal Archive. They said that only 20 people got a copy of this, you know? And even the copy I see out there looks different than the one I got. So I have a weird feeling that I might have got amongst maybe the earlier or first one or two, you know? So yeah, this was the tape. They used it later, I believe, on a Nuclear War Now compilation to put out as a record or some shit.
But I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Even I have a hard time keeping track of all the, you know, releases and reissues.
They do have a lot of, yeah, they have a lot of stuff. And then I wanted to ask you about that band in particular. When did you join Morbosidad?
Oh, so I joined Morbosidad in, I think it was summertime of 2021.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because Joe Necro, the guitarist at the time, he like broke his foot or something. It was real bad. But it was right before a show, like a week before. And so Jake was already playing bass, and we were kind of in a dilemma there. So since Jake already knew the songs, he just picked up guitar, and then I just played bass because I can't really learn a set on guitar in a week because I'm not that good, but I can definitely learn a set on bass in a week. So that's what we did. Played 2 shows on bass, and then Tomas decided he wanted to be a 5-piece for a bit, so then I just picked up second guitar for that. And then Joe left, and then I was the main guitarist until now.
Okay. Yeah, because the band has been around. The band is like an institution since X amount of years, you know? Even though I showed the tape from early on, it's like I think they had died for a little while, but then they had come back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's been little hiatuses due to, you know, certain band members tragically passing or other things going on.
Yeah. They have a lot of releases, and they seem like they've stayed busy and active, you know? And then, and with the band, you got to travel around to other countries and play some shows in X amount of years.
Yeah, Morbosidad. Since then, we've done Brazil. Have you seen there in that live video? And then Chile, Finland, El Salvador, Costa Rica, and Guatemala.
Wow.
Been a wild ride.
How's El Salvador and Guatemala? Like when you go to these places as a Texan girl, if you're originally a Texan girl, but like when you go to Guatemala or like El Salvador, like what is it, you know?
Yeah, that was definitely awesome. El Salvador, I do want to shout out because it's really changed over the past couple years. You know, they had that new president come in, new regime come in, Presidente Bukele. And the people decided they just were going to get rid of all the gang violence. You know, they got rid of MS-13,
right?
Which is incredible on work on the people's end, and it's just completely different now. We're walking around, everything was just so cool and peaceful. Like everyone should go there.
Right.
If you want to go on a vacation, go to fucking El Salvador. Give them all your money.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy because we went there and we played a sick show at like a pizza parlor. But I mean, it was a pizza place with a stage and everything. But I mean, people were moshing.
Right.
A ton of
And
kids
then
there.
all
Yeah,
with the Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, was that a tour?
yeah, that was like a mini Central American tour put
Cool.
on by I think the promoters called Black Moon Productions. They're
Okay.
really cool.
Cool. Cool. And what about how about the fans?
Oh yeah, Central Americans are definitely some of the best fans you can have. They go fucking crazy for death black metal, you know.
Yeah, they seem
Yeah,
like
they're
really
diehard.
tuned into it more than American fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, they definitely are more diehard. It's
Colombia
like part of their
awaits
life.
Morbostat. A nice Aussie representation. What's up, Trav? There's another Australian. See, I guess we're on some kind of Australian. What do we call it? So tonight, this is interesting stuff for death metal podcast watchers. So I mean, I'm glad. Thank you for opening up. And talking to us about just the different like stuff that with the travels and the, you know what I mean. It's like to me, I've never been to El Salvador. You know what I mean. So like I want to
Yeah,
go.
you should. You don't even have to change your money. You can just bring dollars there.
Okay.
Bring Bitcoin there.
And then like I mean, were there like hundreds of fucking people? I heard that when you have a show at some of these places, they have them like in the middle of the street. I've heard show that no one pays, but they buy merch. I've heard a lot of different stuff from South American shows.
Oh yeah. Well, we played at venues. Like even the pizza place had a stage. It wasn't just us in the middle of the floor at Domino's or whatever. But
Right.
yeah, yeah. People just come out and pack in, and they want you to sign everything. They want set lists.
Mm,
Uh, they want to talk to you like before and after the show all the time. They're just really into it.
right. They're real into it. They're like, are they following you at your hotel like the Beatles or what?
I mean, I think they would if you let them, but
Yeah, interesting. That's cool though. And then obviously you got to play Steel Fest too in Finland. Could you talk to
right.
that a little bit?
Steel Fest, yeah, that was very fun times. Um, we were playing with Graveland and bands I never thought we had to play with. Destroyer 666. Yeah, the Finnish festivals are run very well. Like they always have their gear is always in top shape. They always have like shit running on time. Um, the green rooms are always well stocked with stuff for the musicians.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was, and all the bands are staying at like the same hotel, so that was got pretty rowdy over there.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
second show going on there.
yeah. Second show, we were because the hotel was in like the suburbs of Helsinki, whereas the fest itself was in another town called Huvinka, I think. So all the bands had to take these shuttles, like for
Uh-huh.
45 minutes to the festival, like which is it was a bit weird. It's like you think they'd put us right next to the where the festival is, but yeah. So we were on the they assigned each band's like their shuttle, so we were on there with the Stone from Serbia and Ars Beneficium from Belgium.
Okay.
Damn, we got fucked up. Those
So the
guys are
shuttle
fun.
turned into like a party bus almost, huh?
Yeah, yeah, because you had to be on there with them, and dude from Ars Beneficium took out a little flask from his
Uh-huh.
jacket. He's like, "All right, everyone's drinking this." It's like, "All right."
Right, and and Finnish are famous for their alcohol, obviously.
Oh yeah, they can really throw back on that vodka. And
The fans are saying thank you for the interview already. Yeah, I mean, this is what Death Metal Podcast is all about, right? So, yeah, we want to talk about the Finnish festivals, you know? From the insider, from Ziek, you know?
oh yeah, Craig
Because
noticed my Disma shirt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Woo.
Fucking A. So tonight, like I said, like, I noticed you out there. I noticed you playing at Finland and all this shit and the South American tours, and I'm like, Ben, this bitch can fucking shred, you know? So you kind of murder it, you know what I mean? So, I mean, in a way, that's why I thought it would be important to put you on Death Metal Podcast, too. You know, like, I think that, like, you making a mark in the black death metal scene. So that's it. It's cool as fuck, you know? So we're going to get back to playing some of your music. Yeah, man. We're going to get back to playing some of your older stuff, too, because I want the fans to buy everything, basically. All right, your songs are short, so we played a double shot.
Oh yeah. Churchacide always had the short bangers.
Yeah, there's a lot. I noticed there was a lot of short bangers on that on some of your stuff. You know.
Yeah, I think some of that's like the crossover and grind influence.
Right.
Just the micro songs.
Very like bestial kind of all, you know, a lot of blast and you know, again, I want to say like it kind of invokes the old Australian and obviously the blasphemy type, just no
Oh
bullshit.
yeah, like Blasphemy, Gods of War.
Yeah.
Tons of
What's
short
up, Skip? How's
songs
it
on
going,
there.
man? Got Skip from Headrod in there. A nice Abominator, bestial, Warlust sounding vocals. That maybe it's the vocals too. It's not just the sound. It's both. I think. So let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah, the definitely Aussie type vocals.
So we're gonna
Bestial as
play.
fuck.
We're gonna represent more live stuff on here. So this is from Metal Leather Loudness, who watches the show. Thank you. This is live in San Antonio, Churchacide. right, so we did two songs there, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just kind of hard to tell as the sound quality on that one's just like, yeah, it's just
Yeah. Well,
fucked on that one.
that's what sonically it's like at your shows. I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Uh, I guess depends on where you're standing.
Yeah. I mean, the phone or whatever he's taping it with will do that to it. You know, like it's kind of, like it doesn't handle metal very well. I can only tell you that as a person who goes to a show and tapes with their phone sometimes.
Yeah, some phones just get destroyed.
Yeah. So tonight, on Death Metal Podcast, I want to give a plug to my own record label. If you guys want to support Death Metal Podcast, support Necroharmonic. So we have shirts of Larvae, if you're interested. If anyone's into fucking doom death from Italy, check out our website, necroharmonic.com, and I got new shirts from Torture Rack and Larvae, if anyone's interested. So, we want to support not only, I'm not here to push my fucking agenda, but I want to, show there's upcoming shows with Churchacide, and this is in December, which is a couple weeks from now. And then in the future, this show is coming too in Finland. So you got Beherit, Clandestine Blaze, and Morbosidad. So this is in March, I see. Turku, Finland.
That's
This looks
right.
like a fucking brutal fucking show.
Oh yeah, it's sold out in like the first hour or something like that.
Wow,
Just,
that's incredible.
yeah, the last Morbosidad show.
Is it?
Yeah, that's supposed to be the last one ever.
So will
Then-
this be this step where you are more involved with doing more releases and recordings with Churchacide and Wyrmvold?
Oh yeah, as you say, one door closes, another opens. So, gonna be putting all in on the other bands, Churchacide, Wyrmvold, and there's a third band I can't talk about yet because we're not out yet, but we're gonna be this power trio,
Okay.
more in like an Angel Corpse style. So I'll announce that when it's out. Probably
Cool.
with some shit next year.
You heard it here, motherfuckers. Beherit, exactly. And Beherit in Finland is the shit right there, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have Holocausto, too, in March.
Oh shit.
Pump that shit a little bit. Well, I asked them to be on because we were pen pals also. So, like, I'm in the Silver Star, you know? So I was writing to Holocausto, and then, like, back when Beherit was active, and then he would send me, like, Pertinence Avulsion fucking demos taped on the B-side of, like, a Beherit rehearsal. So, like, the long-standing... It's weird how, like, in black metal, the long-standing relationships that you could have with somebody can be, like, 30 years long, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
you can make some lifelong friends that way. Just
Yeah.
ride or die.
Exactly. And I mean, he, obviously he took a hiatus from doing his thing and made electro music and traveled around the world and shit. Shout out to Jari. Yeah. Shout out to Jari too.
Yeah, Sodomatic Slaughter.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet
Cool guy.
Jari. Yeah, somebody said, come meet Jari. He's in New York right now. And I was like, man, like, you should have gave me, like, fucking more than, like, 3 hours notice.
Oh
I
damn, yeah.
I would have liked to, Dude, I thought the Wyrmvold was closest to Angel Corpse I've heard in a long time.
Oh yeah, that's also an influence. It's
Yeah.
just I use weirder chords, I guess.
So
The new
let's-
band's gonna be more played straight.
Yeah, let's talk about like chords and guitars, and because you are what I see as like a guitar nerd.
I
I don't know.
not
I
as
don't know
much
if
as
nerd's
some
the word.
people.
Okay, but you
Kinda
seem like
dumb
you're
compared
into,
to most of them.
you're really into fucking playing not just one guitar, hypothetically, and you fuck with like a couple different weapons, I call them, So I mean, like with all the playing over the years, is there, do you have like a choice, like what's your favorite?
Acts of choice.
Yeah, axe of
Probably just
choice.
the Iron Bird sitting next to me right here.
Bring it, bring it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is the one I see you shredding on the most, actually.
Yeah,
So,
the Iron Bird is just the perfect death black metal guitar in my mind.
and what, I
Just
mean, are you got it modified a little bit with the Kaler and all the fucking pickups and all that shit?
um
Tell the
yeah,
listeners they care about that shit.
I do my own setup. So this one I did a couple of modifications. As you can see, I used to have two humbuckers, but I removed the neck pickup because I never use it. And I put in just a bridge pickup. This is a DiMarzio Deactivator X. And I also installed the LED kill switch over here. Actually, let me plug it in so you guys can see what it does. Yeah, it does this. See,
Okay.
lights up.
Yeah.
That's the kill switch, and the bridge was a Floyd Rose special, so obviously I had to have the Floyd Rose original.
Right.
That's for Dive Bomb Masters right there.
Yeah, and I noticed the dive bombs in your songs too. So like, is that a Texas thing or what?
Maybe you hear that in like Imprecation too.
Yeah,
All those
Tino's band.
Dive Bomb Mania, Satanic Goat Ritual.
Yeah,
Shout out
like
Tino.
they got a lot of dive bombs in there, you know.
Yeah, well, it for me it comes from a Slayer.
Okay,
So
it's all about the dive bombs. Love the dive bombs, Zeke. Hail Zeke
can't
and her
stop
battle
doing
axe of
dive
death.
bombs.
Hail to Tino, definitely, dude. Hail to Tino. Tino sent baby clothes to my kids when I was younger. Dive
Oh,
bombs.
really?
Yeah.
Man, he's so awesome.
Fuck yeah. Imprecation rules. Hail imprecation. Slayer. Texas dive bombs. Exactly. There's a lot of them. I mean, you know, from an outsider. Malignant Altar does an imprecation. Tino's a legend. Tino is a fucking legend. Tino and I, we would actually we would tape trade stuff like music, but we would tape trade videotapes. So that was our big thing. Like we would send
Oh man.
yeah, like videos of like he'd be like, hey, like you know, can you give me these like Profanatica videos, these Bestial Warlust videos, and then I would get some stuff from him. Some, you know, like we had like lists, you know, of videos, and we would just dub off video live concerts for each other and just send back and forth in the mail, and for a long time, you know. So
The old school way before you could just send a YouTube link.
yeah, now, I mean, things have gotten so much easier. Like, yeah, you could just, even for me to just come on here and play a fucking YouTube link, which basically that's the whole fucking show. Besides, that's why that's why I want to talk on here, because I'm just like, what am I going to do? Play a bunch of fucking YouTube links, you know, but there's people hear shit on here they never heard. Obsidiance. Yeah, didn't you, I saw you play the session for Obsidiance as well?
Oh, Basins, yeah, another El Paso stalwart. I filled in for one show as the guitarist.
Okay.
Yeah, that was I had like 3 weeks to learn that set, which you know isn't terrible, but uh, I couldn't remember where all the solos went, so I was just like randomly drop some dive bomb solos in places where maybe they didn't belong. I mean, you got to have solos though. It's obeisance.
Right.
That was definitely an experience.
And for you, with the you know, being that we talked about the guitars, like, what about your amps and heads and all that shit? You know, are you using like different setups for? You have 3 different bands, so like, I'm assuming 3 different setups, maybe some shared guitars.
For Wyrmvold and Churchacide, we have the same exact tuning, which is B standard, so I get to use the same guitars for those.
Right.
Morbosidad is in D standard though, so I have a whole other set of guitars for that band.
Right.
Yeah, because you know, with the Floyd Rose, you kind of just gotta pick a tuning and stick with it for that guitar.
Right. And
Just
then
buy
you
more
can,
guitars, yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, as I was saying, you show up with different guitars, and and what about like amp wise? Like, what's the fucking battle attack of the rehearsal room there?
For right now, I have the Mesa Boogie dual rectifier as the amp, and then the cabinet's a diesel.
What about the rest of
And
the band?
yeah, yeah, that's just setup I use for everything now. I have two other amps as backups. I just don't use them right now. They're just sitting there. And just uh, I try to keep my pedals as simple as possible because if you have to fly out with them, you don't want a million of them to just haul around. It's a pain in the ass. So
Right,
yeah,
gotcha.
just wah pedal, distortion, uh, noise gate, and reverb and tuner. That's what I need basically, and I don't add any more.
Yeah, and I mean most of the places if you're flying somewhere, I'm assuming you get backlined, and as have any your bands done any like small tours or
Um, Not really, because Churchacide can't tour because our drummer, he's more comfortable just playing like a couple shows a year, and that's fine. Our Morbosidad, we don't tour for more than a week at a time, especially now the band's ending. But
right?
yeah,
Is
some
there a
bands just
reason?
don't tour.
Is there a reason for the band ending?
Tomas did make a public post about this, so I'm just going
Okay.
to go over what he publicly said. This is not insider information or anything, but yeah, his knee is like really bad.
Oh,
Like doesn't have any cartilage in there anymore. It's just like raw nerves all the time, and it just hurts him all the time basically. And so that's his health issue with that. And he has a young daughter. I think she's only like 5, so I gotta take care of
he
the
wants to dedicate
family at
time to
home.
home and shit. No doubt.
Yeah, so and then you gotta hold your job down, hold your day job down. Can't
Definitely.
really do all that.
A lot of traveling, and that put a lot of fucking work on your fucking knee too.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of factors just makes it pretty much impossible.
BC Rich Floyd B standard all day says crawling and vomits. So
That's
yeah,
right. B standard is my favorite tuning, so hails to that.
BC Rich is the best. What's up, Roger? I remember back in the '90s, if you had board, you were the king.
Pedal board?
Oh, yeah, maybe embraced by fuck Jesus Christ. Salvation through infinite suffering is my favorite death metal. Period. Out of very few CDs I played this one. Cool. Yeah. So like the chat brings on the fucking some of this. B standard is my favorite too. There you go, another one. Cool. So yeah, I mean tonight, I think that it's relevant for people that want to possibly play music. You know what I mean? They might not be playing guitar right now. I mean, even you saying little things like, "Hey, I bring fucking minimal amount of pedals because we have to fucking fly," is kind of like a hint for like other musicians. I don't know if you realize that, Zeke.
It depends on the musician because when we did that Central American tour with Morbosidad, we were with Diafago, right?
Okay.
And their guitarist walks around with the biggest fucking pedal board ever. Like he was on the plane with that as his carry-on. It's like this big.
Right. Right.
Like, and
Gotcha.
he had it in like this messenger bag that he had to carry on off the plane. But I mean, that's what he uses. If he's willing to carry it everywhere, then
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I I would kill myself if my board was that big. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's what he
you're
does.
strip. You keep it if you're keeping your shit a little stripped back for travel purposes. I mean, I guess you could play a local show a little more stripped back too, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
you
just less stuff to worry about
right.
for sure.
And what about the working on of your guitar? Are you very proficient in, like, the putting in the parts, or you have work with somebody, or
Oh yeah,
no one ever
I
talks
have a
about
bunch of
that stuff?
tools. Yeah, at home. I do all my own soldering, do all my own setups. Um, had to glue on a broken headstock. Just I've pretty much done everything with the guitar except recrowning frets because that looks like a huge pain in the ass. But yeah, all my setups I do by myself now. I used to have a guy for it, but he retired, and then I was like, I'm so stubborn. I just learned how to do it myself.
Yeah, no one ever talks about that on here, so I figured, like, I would talk to a guitar player about it finally.
Yeah, I mean, it saves you a lot of time if you can just fire up your own tools and install your own shit, you know?
I'm assuming that too you have to set up like an area, because I have a guitar too that I want to work on. I'll show it to you actually. Hold on a sec.
Oh, you got a Mockingbird.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yeah. The NJ series, all right. That's a sick one.
Hold on, I don't know where my headphones went. Yeah, I don't know shit about guitars, about fixing them. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah,
I know
well,
the guitar is sick.
if you live near me, I could just set yours up for you, but you know.
Yeah, yeah. I have maybe Sam from Morpheus Descends just did a job on Roger's guitar, which is very similar to that one.
Oh, Morpheus
So
Ascends, yeah, great band, great
maybe I
people.
could pass it off to Sam. Also, Alex Spooks from Immolation told me to bring the. We went to some fest or somewhere. He goes, "Just bring the guitar with you, man. I'll fucking whatever." I was thinking,
Oh,
oh,
Alex does his own setups, and that's awesome.
yeah. Well, he has a guy actually. They have a show just about guitar players actually, which is really fucking killer. They bring on other like black death metal like guitar players, talk about like their setups and all kinds of shit. So
Oh
shout out to
shit.
Alex, man. Yeah, the show is really killer. Actually, they even have a drummer occasionally, and they had Craig Smilowski on there, and it was amazing.
Oh, Craig, damn, all right, cool.
Yeah, so, like again, you're a guitar player, so like that's why I feel like if we expound upon a little knowledge of the inside of a guitar player's head, it's kind of cool for other watchers. You know what I mean? People that don't, like me even. I don't fucking worked on the fucking guitar before.
Oh yeah. If you ever want to get into it, good soldering iron is only like 40-50 bucks, and
Yeah, yeah.
you can learn anything off YouTube almost.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I bought some shit. I gotta just spend some time. I gotta give it some time, man.
Yeah,
You're
it's all
talking
about how much time you have. That's true.
Morpheus Descends? Fuck yeah. I just saw Morpheus Descends recently. So we're gonna play
Yeah.
some more music. And then we'll talk about some stuff. I gotta talk more about the releases themselves. You had an old video that I had saw out there that looked really fucking brutal, so we're gonna show that right now. This is Churchacide, Give Me the Blade.
Oh.
Right. Shout out to Necro Blanco.
Oh yeah,
Picture.
Necroblanca. That's the best photographer in Texas. Well, one of the best.
I saw a lot of your shots had the Necro Blanca, tag on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's our he's our friend who lives in the area. He's always doing a lot of official photos and videography for all the Texas bands around here. He knows his
That's
shit.
Yeah, that's cool. I try to reach out to be like, yo, why don't you send the logo so we could show it on here? You know, I like to give the equal love to everyone that's like part of the show. Like even the metal leather loudness guy, he always tapes cool stuff for Texas. Who shot these photos or like this stuff?
Oh, we just do that ourselves at home, like these ones.
Okay.
Not all of them is like we hire our friend, so he's like a professional photographer. Some of these we just do at home with each other, you know?
Yeah. Just a
It's like,
black
hey, hold this
background.
camera real quick and take a picture of me looking all
Now this
fucked
one was
up
my
over here.
favorite of them all because it's so on point.
That one was kind of a joke. That one was kind of
Of
a
course.
funny.
It's cool though because that's an ultimate homage to fucking Holocausto fucking
Yeah.
Beherit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
And then
I think his guitar had the leopard spots though.
Okay.
There's,
You got the like when you look at this real quick, this kind of look like it really looks close. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like if you took a quick look, you're just like you think it's the same photo. You know?
it's like, oh, is that the photo?
Yeah.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it's fucking fire, exactly. So that's a fucking fire ass photo. Like it's cool, like, and it's an ultimate fucking homage to fucking one of the fucking black metal fucking leaders, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Oh yeah, you said Holocaust is iconic for sure.
Let's talk about that spiked fucking wristband thing. Did your other band members get like impaled on that thing while you're playing?
Oh, we get pretty close. Some of these stages are tiny, or even at rehearsal, at dress rehearsal, sometimes we poke each other a bit.
Mm.
None of us got tetanus yet, so I guess we're all right. But yeah, the armor's important. It's just part of showing that you're a real Black Death bestial band and not just some fuckers off the street that just play metal after work or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And even if the show is in between, you could rock that to the fucking 7-Eleven, just have the fucking cups that are stuck to it and shit.
Yeah, like the old Beherit videos where they're at the mall
Yeah,
playing
exactly.
the show in broad daylight.
So, I mean, I think, did you make that fucking, that fucking big ass spiked fucking.
Oh, my friend made his, and then he didn't want it, so he just gave it to me, and I put even bigger nails in it.
Oh,
So
shit.
that's how I got that. Mhm.
Pretty fucking brutal. So this would be, like, let's talk about the new release, too. This would be, like, considered, like, your last release of Churchacide?
Churchacide. No, I think Wyrmvold came out after that. God, I can't even keep track of my own releases.
Well, the
That
last
came out at the
release
start of the year.
of Churchacide.
Yeah, this came out at the start of the year, and then Wyrmvold came out in April,
And
and
since
then
this
the
release,
Little Morbosidad single and split came out.
since this release of this Churchacide, since you said it came out about a year ago, I'm assuming that you've written some newer tracks. You want to talk about them or anything?
Oh, for Churchacide, yeah, we are in the middle of recording an album, presumably put out on Goat Throne Records. Good old Goat Throne. So we're in the middle of that. That'll come out sometime next year, probably.
Cool.
Yeah, another album.
Any song titles you want to give out? Somebody said during that rehearsal you were playing one of your new songs.
Yeah, our titles keep getting more unhinged. That one was called The All-Seeing Cock.
Okay.
As you can see, a lot of Profanatica influence there. My other favorite song title is "He of Sanctimonious Cuckoldry."
I
Yeah, we're
noticed
just
a lot of your song titles are ridiculous. Actually, not ridiculously
no,
bad,
no. That's right.
ridiculously
It's
blasphemous.
right, blast. Just very uncouth, like Profanatica or Nuclear Death style, not giving a fuck what offends people.
That's good. I like. That's why you're on Death Metal Podcast, basically.
Yeah,
Because
that's right.
like I want, like I'm here to offend, basically. Like if I don't get kicked off of this shit, then what the fuck am I even on here for?
It's supposed to be, offensive and horrific. That's
I
what
think
death
black.
metal is.
Yeah,
I don't know why
exactly.
people think it's supposed to not be.
Yeah, there's a lot
It's
of
supposed to be all
bullshitters in the
safe and
scene.
stuff.
I think one of the biggest issues, I think, and I see this out there, and I'm sure you see this out there, especially in social media world, is that like, you know what? Fuck the fucking alarmists. Like, why is anyone talking about what people don't like about you? Don't even post that shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, why give anyone any fucking attention? We're here to fucking do what the fuck we want, basically, And if I want to go into
Yeah,
fucking 7-Eleven and fucking put spike fucking wristband into the fucking guy that works there's head, I'm gonna do it, basically.
yeah, posers. They're just
Yeah.
posers.
And then, like, I don't understand why people entertain the caring of what others are saying in a way. Like, you're just basically just giving them the fucking platform. So,
Yeah, you can't engage with these people. It
yeah.
just gives them more validity.
There you go. So you hit it on the nail. Like fucking, you can't like. I don't even engage. Basically, fuck that. Can I do
Yeah, it's
this
a good mindset to have.
twice a month? I've been doing it twice. We have Erica from Skolex actually in 2 weeks. I was trying to put an interview in between the two though. I'm trying to do more interviews on here, so like I want to talk to people, and I think Ziek has a lot of good bands, and it's worth showcase and talk about the fucking guitar shredder. You represent, so I mean, I noticed it. That's why I want to play some more Wyrmvold. We gotta crush people's fucking skulls in on here. Then I'll probably ask you some questions about the band too. Okay?
Right on.
We're
All right, there we go. So that was Wyrmvold. So there was somebody asking a question, and then you answered it in the chat.
Oh
This
yeah, I
is
think I did. Just
this is Xena Worship off the Wyrmvold EP, Vengeance Eclipsing Red. This was released with Go Throne also.
no, that was on our house label we were talking about earlier,
Okay.
Anti-Criconoclast. But
All right.
Goat Throne does have copies of that on their web store, so
Cool.
you can get it there.
There you go. And then with the Wyrmvold stuff, do you like being that you had maybe some drummer issue, was that the band?
Yeah, that's the one with
Right.
the drummer issue.
So now you're gonna have the drummer from Morbosidad work on your newer stuff.
Right. So he's gonna be the drum guy from here on out.
Is that band more like kind of like a project-y thing, or is it kind of gonna rehearse live, or?
Um, well, it started out as like a studio project, but now that we actually have a full live lineup now together, we're gonna start rehearsing, getting stuff ready for a live show. But again, we just started doing that, so
Cool.
wouldn't expect anything to come out till next year.
Yeah, that's cool though. I mean, you keep building on the Churchacide, and you keep building on the Wyrmvold. Where did you get the name Wyrmvold from?
Right, so that's from the Norwegian death metal band Molested. So they had
Yeah.
an EP called Stormvold, right? So I just took out Storm and put Worm in because I wanted more draconic imagery on there. So that's literally it.
Yeah, cool.
Comes from that.
I'm sure people know that on here. House label should stay independent. Somebody saying this is the house label right here. Where the fuck is it?
Right. It technically is independent, just we
Yeah. I
made
mean,
up our own label,
if you don't have if you don't have some of your own stuff, like especially when you want to be maybe the first mover on the release, or you got a show or whatever, you know what I mean? It's smart for you to have your own little thing going on. It's not even about money, it's just about having a name put to your shit.
Yeah, just make it look more legitimate.
It looks legit to me. So yeah, Molested rules definitely. Um, uh, Sam was the last Morbosidad drummer, and will be helping us with Wyrmvold. Cool. So this is a member of your band in the chat.
Oh yeah, that's Jake.
What's up,
He's
Jake?
kind of the Dan Lilker of Texas.
Okay. Does that mean he plays in multiple bands, or his hairstyle?
Yeah, the bassist for multiple bands.
Okay. Fucking Dan Lilker. Dan Lilker from Texas. I like that. All right. Well, I wanted to play some a little bit older Churchacide stuff too, just so that the fans here can check it out.
Right on.
So this one is Armor of Deception is the song. You got a good production on all of your stuff. I noticed.
Oh, that
Everything.
that was mixed by our bass player. Well, the live bass player, Keith.
Uh huh.
And he's gotten pretty good over the years.
Yeah, everything's really fucking like in your fucking face. So that was a split with Plague. What the fuck's Plague Swarm?
Plague Swarm, yeah. That's Tony from Trench Warfare.
Okay. Didn't
He
you jam
that's his main
together
project.
at some point?
Oh, we had this other project called Phalanx Inferno, which that didn't really go as planned, but I mean, Tony's a great guitar player. He's a great songwriter. I didn't have any problem with him. I just had a problem with the fucking singer of that band.
Gotcha. Is he
But
the
yeah.
meme fucking poster kid?
I mean, uh, he was trying to like use internet memes to get the band bigger or something. I don't know. I fucking hate that shit.
Right. So let's see here. I wanted to talk about something here. What I saw you jamming out on this guitar too.
Oh, the Zyphos. Yeah, that was my first pointy guitar ever.
Yeah.
Got that when I was like 19 or something. Yeah.
You were pretty much killing
Yeah.
it for a long time. So like, I mean, it's kind of cool to see the evolution of like what you have done, and you get into your instruments too.
Oh yeah, just collecting guitars.
What about this was a release that the band put out?
Oh,
A
yeah, that was
split?
like a compilation sort of. Jake, who's we were talking about earlier, the Dan Lilker of Texas, he just had these two other projects, Volse and Crucifragment, and since we all had that saved, all that music saved up, he just put it all out on our house label.
Okay, that's how it worked
So we
out.
have this, you know, compilation.
Amongst your discography, and then which I don't see much talking about, or it's something that came out or you worked on.
Oh, that was the pre-Wyrmvold band. I just changed the name. Idris Trine. First tape I ever pressed by myself.
Hmm.
Still have a few copies if any of you want to trade.
I would like a copy. What is the representation of the name? Yours tried.
Idris
I
Trine.
don't
Yeah,
know.
that
I just
was
don't know.
yeah, as you can see, I changed the name because Wormfold's a bit easier. But yeah, Idris is like the archaic way of writing the name Hydrus. That's a constellation, and
Okay.
then Trine is a trinity. Because that constellation has like three main stars in it. So I was referring to that. I thought I was being clever, but just being a
Right.
dumbass, I guess. But
Well, I think
anyway, changed the band name.
it might have been smarter for you to have a band name that is more like accessible and easier to say. Churchacide.
Yeah, I just came up with a better logo, the Wormvold logo. It just the
Oh
less
that.
letters, the easier to draw. Obviously,
Oh, that band became Warmvold. I'm sorry.
yeah, that became Wormvold. I just came up with a better logo.
Yeah, and then growing up through like the different era that may say like where were you like consuming your stuff? Would you go to like your local record stores and maybe buy your Voivod records, or were you just sucking up YouTube stuff, or what's up?
Yeah, when I first was getting into music, I would go to record stores, but that was like the early 2000s for me, and it was a weird time because a lot of the records you were looking for, like if you're looking for Voivod, for example, you were not going to find Killing Technology or like Roar. You were going to find Cators or something,
Right.
one of the newer albums. So it was kind of hard. And then um, streaming music online wasn't as advanced as it is now in like the early 2000s. So
Exactly.
it was kind of you just had to basically give your computer viruses trying to download stuff off LimeWire or I mean, you could use SoulSeek, but that was a little bit more intensive. Uh,
Yeah. Soulseek was good.
but it was easy to download demos, like because they're only a couple songs each. So I was able to get into stuff like Necrovore early. Just by, even though I didn't have the physical tapes, people were uploading that online. It was pretty easy to access the demo stuff.
Yeah, Seek was awesome. I mean, that was like, tape trading basically turned into what tape trading was.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it was be weird too on Seek because like if you would maybe be downloading someone's stuff and then they would like ban you in the middle of it, they're like fuck you, you know.
Yeah,
You
you
see
just had to like
guidelines.
really.
You had to be fast.
Yeah, it's just. But now you can just go online and listen to whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, exactly. And then I mean, Seek still exists. I don't know if anyone still knows that. Yeah, it's still fucking up there. Which I went up there and I was confused by it. I was like, I can't believe this is still here after all these fucking years. You know, but I mean, most of the shit's on YouTube. But there's stuff I got off Seek that was not on YouTube also. So you still use it? Fuck.
Yeah, no, I don't have fucking time for that shit.
Some of the fucking death metal podcast watchers fucking fuck with it. Okay, yeah, man. I mean, we're here to roast Ziek, basically. She's done some fucking shit. Texas. What about the Texas scene? Like, there's a lot of shows and there's a lot of bands from Texas. You know?
Yeah, Texas. Definitely have our own identity. We always call ourselves the greatest country in the United States. If people are from Texas, they'll tell you they're from Texas, not from the U.S. That always comes first. But yeah, because it's such a unique state. It always had its own bands. Imprecation, Necrovore changed the face of fucking extreme metal as we know it just from one demo. And even today there's tons of bands that are still going, and new bands that still have the old school mentality. Hexea, we got Infestation of Evil, got Merciless Savagery, and Imprecation still going. Pius Levis. Yeah, we were all, tight with each other.
Yeah, and it seemed like, each like, I wanted to call it state, because you just said it was a country, but each spot, like in Texas, like San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, El Paso, you had like your own kind of like scene in a way, and your own set of bands, I noticed,
Oh, yeah, like Dallas, you got Absu. Austin, we had Averse Saphira, Watchtower. Houston was this whole scene, Imprecation, Blaspherian. Yeah, all the cities, they've got their bands.
Yeah, it's fucking pretty cool, It's is Blaspherian still going? I don't know.
Well, no, because Wes passed away, but they're trying to release some final stuff that was around right before Wes passed away. So hopefully that comes out.
Yeah, Wes was cool as fuck.
Yeah, he was a great
Texas.
guy.
I went up to that radio station where he used to do his thing, and they did an interview with like Incantation or whatever. It was pretty sick.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was a long fucking time ago. I was with Paul from Splatteria. We lived at his house for 2 weeks.
Oh, Splatteria, yeah.
He taped me the second Necrovore demo at the time, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? They only have one tape, man, He's like, no, they got this one, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Eat the Decay. Shout out to Sal. Definitely. I was there with Anal Cunt. It was Phlegm, Incantation, and Anal Cunt. We toured in the summer. It was horrific. But shout out to fucking Whataburger. So I'm gonna play some. We're gonna play a little of the little clip of another rehearsal thing. This is Morbosidad doing a small thing here. Check it. All right, there you have it. So that was a rehearsal track of what track? I didn't catch the name of it real quick.
Oh, Sangriento.
Did
Um,
you did you have to go back and learn the back catalog of all the bands of the Morbosidad, like from record one till or?
oh no, there's a pre-made set list, so you just learn the songs that are on the set list there. There's no need to really learn more unless Tomas changes the set list, Tomas Stench.
Okay.
But he rarely does that, so
Yeah. Oh, you just play the same set usually.
usually, same. There's like 15 songs that we play live, and then usually we pick 13 of those, and it's mostly the exact same stuff.
And what were we looking at right there? That was you were on a different guitar. I noticed than normal. So that's your Morbosidad guitar.
That's my backup guitar. It's another Ibanez Xiphos. Um, they came out with these newer ones called the Black Label. They're pretty
Hmm.
okay. It's just sometimes you just need something you can just throw around,
Okay. Yeah.
where you don't get too sad if it gets lost or destroyed
And
when
then
you're on
the
the
spot
road.
where you was rehearsing. That what is that? Is that the
Oh, that's
drum kit?
our yeah, that's our actual rehearsal space that we rent out. Um, we share that space with Trench Warfare and Serpentian, so those bands in Austin, Texas.
And the drummer that was playing on that, that's the one that's going to be playing in Wyrmvold.
Yeah, that's Sam Axelrad.
Okay.
Very good drummer, as you can
Fuck.
see.
Yeah, that was fucking sick. This one gives me Nocturnal Grave vibes.
Oh, Nocturnal Graves, another great Aussie band. Yeah, just yeah.
Yeah. So let's hit the chat too. Thank you for people that are tuning in. Does anyone have any questions that I didn't touch here for Zeke? We can maybe talk about them. I think that a lot of the stuff that you're doing is really fucking intense. Like a lot of fast. I noticed on a lot of solos with the Wyrmvold. Where you,
Oh yeah, since that's the one band where I write 100% of everything, I gotta have as many solos as possible.
right?
Just guitar stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, are you is that the Voivod coming out in you in that because they were solo fucking
Oh yeah, yeah, that's some of that Piggy influence. There's always a kick-ass solo on like every Voivod song.
pretty much.
He was one of the greatest guitarists ever.
You were right what you said earlier too. Like you couldn't access like War and Pain at the fucking record store.
Because they weren't reissuing those at the time, really. So you were stuck with if you're just getting into metal at the time, you're like a 14-year-old kid. You
Yeah.
wanted stuff like Exodus, Bonded by Blood, or Voivod's War and Pain, or Celtic Frost, Morbid Tales and stuff like that. But you couldn't find them. You just had whatever they had on the record store shelves,
No,
unless it
I
was a
get it.
very specialized record store. But you may not have found them in your area. So
I get it. I've been
yeah,
there.
now it's a little better.
Now
But now
things have
you can just
changed.
download stuff online. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, back years ago, we would do our research at home, so we would know, like, I want Exodus, Bonded by Blood. And then we would go to the record store to look for that fucker. And
Right, but
my thing was tapes at the time. So I would try to get the tape, and then if they didn't have it, then I would reluctantly buy the record. Which now I'm happy because like I do have like Exodus, Bonded by Blood on record. But you know what I mean? It was weird to at the time like even there's been that non-accessibility thing has been like a forever thing.
right. You could find if you knew where to look. It's just
Yeah.
things that would have been consistent releases at the time. They just weren't reissuing since you were discovering it like 20 years after they came out. So
Yeah. I mean, I
it was a
even
weird
discover
time.
shit now that I didn't listen to when it came out. Like I've been on a big Panzerfaust fucking kick right lately. Now, I didn't listen to that when it came out. I didn't really give a fuck about Dark Throne at that moment in time, you know? I was on to some Finnish fucking death metal demo shit, you know?
Oh, you're in the fuck
Yeah.
Norway camp at the time,
Yeah.
maybe, because you
Yeah,
were with the Finns.
like I was just in a different place, like in my mind. So I wasn't really like I was like, Dark Throne, whatever, you know. But now it feels like new to me, so I could listen to the record like it's a new fucking record, which is kind of fucking dope, you know. It's weird how times
Right
have
on,
changed
just
shit.
discovering shit you missed back
Yeah,
when it
and there's
came out.
a lot of that. So let's see if we got any questions here. These lazy motherfuckers write anything here? Let's see. Does Zeke visit Dime and Vinny and Dime's grave?
No. um, yeah, definitely
Hell no.
not a huge Pantera fan
Any
at all.
Wormhold shows in Houston soon?
Hopefully next year, maybe later in the year. But
Rest in peace to Weston Rubin. Rest in peace. Can you somehow make your solos even more chaotic?
I'm sure there's a way. Yeah, just I'm
Any
probably gonna put a
plans?
dive bomb on everything.
Any plans for a Wormvold LP?
Well, right now we're doing a split. So we're not doing an album yet. Maybe the album's next, but we're doing a 4 songs. Well, I think each band has like 20 minutes of music. So our side is 4 songs, about 20 minutes, and the other band on the split is going to be Glorification from Paraguay.
Okay.
It's a pretty underrated scene in Paraguay. Those guys are
Yeah.
diehards. Yeah, so hopefully that comes out sometime next year. Oh, I'm trying to get Tino from Satanic Goat Ritual to do guest vocals on that. He's kind of taking a long time though.
Cool. What up, Pat? Soulside Journey. A lot of people care about. Anyone have any questions for Zeke? A shout out to the Paraguayan Legions. So is that one of the places you played in with Morbosidad?
No, we didn't go there, but when we were in Brazil, there were a bunch of Paraguayans that came up, and that is a long ass drive. They had to drive like I think 15 hours or something just to get to Brazil to go to Brazilian Ritual.
Wow.
So that was pretty impressive how a ton of them were just caravanning through like the fucking jungle just to get to Brazil to see that fest. So yeah, them and we met them and we met this other Paraguayan band called Infaustus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all those Paraguayans are very dedicated.
And I'm assuming you got to hang out with Blasphemy. Was that show with
Yeah,
Blasphemy?
Blasphemy. Yeah, we all got to hang out with Blasphemy there. We got to saw them rehearse actually.
Cool.
They rented out a little rehearsal space in Brazil, and we just sat on the couch and watched Blasphemy fucking rehearse right in front of us.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Black Winds, man.
Black Winds, yeah, and Caller of the Storms.
Caller of the Storms, cool as fuck. I met him in Montreal in 2009, and fuck, dude, I was like, holy fuck. And
yeah, he's awesome. He was
Jerry too.
Yeah, I remember at the rehearsal he had his BC Rich bitch, and it was made in Korea, so he kept calling it his Korean bitch. Like, oh man, my Korean bitch is fucked up today. It was just a funny double entendre.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zeke, did you
fun
take
guys.
an infamous couch photo with them?
No, no. They hate memes about them, so don't bring it up. I mean, if you make memes about them privately, that's funny as hell, but if you show them that, they're gonna be pissed off at you. Don't show them couch memes.
Yeah. Ross Bay, man. You know, they take their shit serious, so.
Yeah, no, they're not like,
No.
humorless guys. It's just they don't like memes about themselves, so.
When I saw and met Jerry, Black Winds, he looked like he was a fucking animal ready to be let out of a cage before they played the show. So I was like, fuck yes. I was like he fit everything I wanted it to be. I was like, fuck yes. You know, this guy's fucking brutal, you know?
Yeah, you can see it in his eyes.
Yeah, and I know, like I wrote to him, so he knew who I was, and we had a mutual friend at Damo from BC Warlost, so like like he knew who I was. So I goes, holy shit, like I fucking wrote to you like 20 fucking years ago. But he's a fucking maniac, and then I got to talk to Caller Storms after the show. He was cool as fuck, dude.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah, he was funny as fuck. So we'll play a few more songs. Anyone have any questions for Zeke in the chat? That's what I was asking y'all. Come on, Texas represent. Morbosidad Shreds. Let's well, maybe we could play another track from them while you guys think to yourselves. Let me see here now. Actually, I have this Churchacide live from San Antonio we're gonna play. Let's check it out. I played this one already, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a
The one with
second.
the fucked up audio.
That wasn't the one. Let me see here. Well, let's see. I played that. Did I play the Abhorrent Others? I don't even fucking know. Not even high
I think
yet.
you did play 2 tracks off that one.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. Is the split with Putrid on there? Morbosidad Jesus Vagina,
Is that
which
did you
is
play on that?
an unhinged title, Jesus Vagina.
You played on that?
Yeah. We actually recorded that. I don't know if that's on you. It should be on YouTube or something.
Let's see here. Jesus' vagina.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally a vagina on there. It's kind of photoshopped in or whatever, but it's right there.
Let's see here. I don't know where the fuck it is. So anyway, let's see if the chat's got any more questions here though. I'm bugging? Of course I'm bugging, dude. Zeke, will you be doing a cover of anything soon? I missed those vids.
Oh, I guess that's just what I did to keep myself entertained during the lockdowns. But I don't know. I feel kind of corny doing them now. I mean, maybe I'll do more just for shits and giggles. Cover videos. I just didn't think anyone liked those.
Yeah, when you were doing you did a video. It said something about Jay Reed drums or whatever.
Oh, yeah. So that was that Wyrmvold split I was talking about earlier. So one of the songs is a cover of Axis of Advance.
Right.
That band Jay Reed was in. So
it. Okay.
yeah. So we're doing that song Supremancer, and plan on doing it live too. Once we get that going, just throw that in the live set.
So the split is it's Morbo. Fuck, sorry everybody. I'm always get tongue tied with 10,000 band names in my head, just swirling around. Morbosidad and Putrid. Where's the Putrid from?
Putrid's from Peru, which is
Okay.
another great country for death metal. We're gonna play there, but I guess that got canceled.
And this is the Jesus Vagina split. Let's give it a spin here. I gotta shut that comment off too. You on this?
Yeah, I did record.
right, there you have it. So that's the newest stuff in the split. That'll be the encore of Morbosidad.
Yeah, it's that, and then we recorded a single that went on a compilation for the Forged in Defiance Fest.
Okay. So that was an exclusive on there?
Yeah, that was an exclusive, so that's probably gonna be the last thing we ever record.
And then you, what do you call it? There's one thing I didn't ask you about too. I figure I saw it in the photos here. You worked on like a fanzine or something?
Oh yeah, Under the Sign of the Lone Star. So that was Jake was the writer of that one, and then I was the artist. So that one was that particular cover was inspired by Absu Third Storm of Kuthral,
Uh-huh.
except I turned it into a Texas desert instead of the ocean. So
Yeah, are you,
that was it.
it says volume 3. So did you do 3 zines? And was it like a Black Death zine or was it an art zine?
Right, it was Black Death, mostly interviews and reviews of mostly Texas stuff.
Okay.
Yes, we did a couple. Every cover art was kind of like a Texas parody of a well-known album art cover. So we did a Voivod one, and then we did a Under the Sign of the Black Mark one.
Cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, and we did a Slaughter Strapato
Yeah.
cover where the skull dudes were all like longhorn cow skulls.
Ever think about getting back into the fanzine thing or?
It is a lot of work, so I do respect people who do zines because holy shit,
Yes.
that took up so much time and it costs a lot of money to print the paper and
A
stuff.
lot of photocopying time and
Yeah.
then flipping it over and photocopy the other side. I know.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it again in the future, but yeah, it's a lot of work. So I have a ton of respect for all you zine people out there.
Well, I have a ton of respect for you because you did a fucking zine, so that's why you're on here too. You know what I mean? Because that's the one of the essence of black death metal. Like, you're in a band, you did a fucking zine. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit's important. And take note, chat. You know, like, make your own fucking fanzines. You know, like, even if they're small, like the head splits. You know.
Yeah,
Try to go out
definitely.
there. Do some
Because
shit.
yeah, if
Promote
you
your
don't make
friends'
zines, then
bands.
people gotta depend on shit like Decibel magazine for stuff, and it's like we don't want this corporate shit. We want the true underground, and
Yeah, and
that's where you zine people come in.
support your friends' bands. That's who you put in the fucking zine, basically. You know? And that's how other people will find out about them.
Yeah, make zines, trade tapes, trade CDs, write physical letters.
Exactly. You know? And support underground record labels, too. And then,
That's right.
like Goat Throne or your, Bandcamp or just anything. You know what I mean? If you have a band, if you have some shirts or you're doing something, like the bands, it goes to the band, And then there's no in-betweens, It's just all this show is just about basically juxing all that shit too, because fuck that shit, Like, I'm not paying to advertise to people that don't even give a fuck about what I like,
Yeah, for real. True underground support labels like Necroharmonic or Head Split, Go Throne.
Exactly. Appreciate it, So like, and I appreciate the people that tune into fucking death metal podcasts on the regular. So thank you, everybody. This was a very cool interview. I think we covered a lot of stuff, right, Zeke?
Oh yeah,
a lot of different bands that you played in, and talked about your, like your awesome fucking guitars, and you're a shredder, man. So like, and you did a zine, so that's why you. I had to have you on here. You know what I mean? Like, I saw the zine thing through just looking for stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, I was like, all right, next level.
oh yeah. Well, it's cool of you to notice. That was a while ago.
Yeah, no, I mean,
ago.
like I dig for the show a little, just to, I wanted to be comprehensive, because that way, because we're going to talk about, like, your stuff, like, it should be semi-comprehensive, and I thank you for being a guest, and, like, you said, you're like, I don't know if I could talk for that. I'm like, I get you to fucking talk, you'll see. So, let's hear some dive bombs. Yeah, I'd like that. Yeah, when you were playing the whatever the fuck it was, your pandemic fucking video, you were throwing the little fucking dive bombs in the fucking video. You know.
Oh yeah, that's my style.
Somebody
Just
asking Zeke,
dropping
what do you use for distortion?
the- it's the Behringer Heavy Distortion. I think it's called like an HD 300. I would recommend picking one up if you see one because they're very cheap. They're only like $35,
Okay.
and they're really good. Better than HM03 in my opinion.
Hmm.
Might ruffle some feathers saying that, but
That's
yeah.
good for me though to know because I need another distortion pedal. I have a rat, but I don't know if that'll cut it.
Oh yeah, it's distortion is just whatever you want to use, but I think the Behringer Heavy Distortion is the best bang for your buck.
And you're not one of those purists that just use the distortion off the amp head.
The thing is, when you're in Morbosidad, you're not using your own amp a lot of the time, so sometimes you get stuck with an amp that's like a little underpowered,
Okay.
and an overdrive wouldn't cut it. That thing has saved my ass a couple times, just getting that Morbosidad tone.
Yeah. And then you know, for the future, Morbosidad isn't going to play out, obviously. But are you, like, somebody was asking about East Coast, or do you think you'll be able to get up the, you know, East or West Coast with the bands?
We're planning on doing it with at least Churchacide, so keep an eye out for that. Probably with our friends Heretic Body Hammer, if any of you know that band.
Okay.
It'll probably be with them.
Cool. So you're gonna try to set something up and then travel around and cool. That's good.
Right. Playing with friends.
Yep. And then so we're gonna wrap this up though. Thank you, Zeke. I appreciate you coming on Death Metal Podcast. Freaking awesome. Killer interview. I think the watchers learned a lot, or listeners, or whoever watches this in the afterplay. Thank you for tuning in to our bullshit show. Zeke, you're a perfect fucking guest because you don't give a fuck like me. And then I thank everybody for tuning in to Death Metal Podcast. So we're gonna wrap it up. Check out the band's band camps. So Wyrmvold on Churchacide, and support Goat Throne and their next releases, and grab that Morbosidad Putrid Split, which I just heard about tonight. So thank you, and then we're signing out. I'll put you in the back room, Zeke.
Thanks for
What?
Oh, I said thanks for having me. It was great hanging out with
Yeah.
everybody here.
Appreciate you.
So,
All right. So this is another episode of Death Metal Podcast. Appreciate everyone that fucking tunes in, and then hope you guys like the interview. Pretty fucking sick. We learned a lot about the bands, and then yeah, definitely. You know, check out the replay. Death Metal Podcast. Fucking, this is underground, and that's how I try to keep that shit. I want only underground on here. So like, we try to purposely make this shit fucking death metal as fuck, basically. Like this is the fucking real death metal shit, not the corporate shit they try to fucking feed you. You know, enough with the fucking metal sucks and all that bullshit. This is real death metal. So I'm signing out. Thank you for tuning in. Watch out for our next episode next week.